Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of Eternal Playback, where we take you behind the scenes of Australia's premier mixed martial arts organisation, Eternal MMA. We've just finished up here at Eternal 66 in Perth, Western Australia. My name is Tanira Nathan, and tonight I'm joined by Blake Richardson. Blake, a fantastic night of fights we had here this evening.
You're absolutely correct. Pleasure to be with you, Tanira. We had some fantastic fights from top to bottom. In the prelim card, a particular highlight for me was in the lightweight division between Wyatt Fraser and Alex the Killer Panaris. Back and forth action leading to a close decision there. And the main card on the co-main event, very anticipated matchup in the bantamweight division between Cody Haddon and Jarrett Wilbraham, and it certainly lived up to the hype.
That and much more will be discussed here on Eternal Playback, and it all started on our main card with our first bout between Lawrence Louis and Anthony Drillich. 3 possible 5-minute rounds in this Eternal Bantamweight bout. Once again, this matchup proudly brought to you by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey. Tanira Nathan cage side with Ben Vickers.
It's a nice patient start, as you'd expect. We're in the pro ranks now, so everyone's a little bit calmer. Look, Ant's a good grappler. It's important to get, if you're a grappler, to get your hands on your opponent early and give him something to think about. Whether that now,
absolutely, but he's got to think about those elbows, Ben. My goodness.
Ant can bang. He has power, and Lawrence is clearly well-rounded. Great. It fends off that first takedown attempt pretty comfortably there, and landing some heavy elbows of himself. And here's that feinting movement.
Yes.
That we expect to see from the city kickboxing fighters this evening.
When you train alongside guys like Israel Adesanya, Kai Kara France, Brad Riddell, who are all in camp at the moment, prepping for their respective bouts. Lawrence Louis taking full advantage of that. Looking to put on a display here tonight, that feinting style, Ben, well and truly in full swing here in round 1.
Yeah, look, he's just walking onto the left hand of Anthony a little bit. I feel like he needs to circle in the opposite direction, otherwise he's gonna wear that heavy left hand of Anthony, and trust me, it has a lot of power in it. As you expect in the pros, there's a lot longer of a fight. So we expect the pace to slow a little bit in some of these fights, but we do have a lot of lighter weight classes on the card, so we will be all action.
Absolutely indeed. Lawrence Louis picking his shots quite well there. And you talk about the experience at City Kickboxing. Cam Ralston in the corner of Lawrence Louis. Ryan Gray alongside Jack Della in the corner of Anthony Drillich.
Yeah, and Anthony's brother's in there. He's a very experienced fighter. They own a gym together up in Joondalup, so if you're out that way, get in there and have a look.
Absolutely indeed. Quite a patient start from both men at this stage.
Yeah, they're working each other out. It's what we expect at this level. Is you can't just be reckless. You've got to figure out where the holes are, what's going on, make your reads, and then we'll look to push the pace. And how do you deal with the guy that feints? That is what Anthony's trying to work out now, is where's his moment. Lawrence is waiting for him to come. Obviously being the longer man, he's waiting for him to come, and he's fighting really well on the counter. But
there he comes, and he comes with a massive takedown, Ben.
Yeah, and look, Drillich is no joke. He's a good wrestler, he's a phenomenal grappler, and he's got power in his hands. Lawrence has done the right thing there. He's scooted all the way back to the cage, and he's going to start building his base as he's already done. And he's up. Fantastic defense from Lawrence. Exactly the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
But good for Ant to know that he can ground Lawrence. He'll have felt him now. He'll understand where his strengths are, where his weight lies in those exchanges. And he's still working here to re-ground him. He's got to watch for those strikes. He's going to hit the switch here. Strong from both men here. Yes. This is like an Ant rides out that underhook escape attempt. Those elbows are dangerous and very smart tactic. You can't hang out with your head down there in the pro ranks.
Well, it's a bit of a struggle here as we count down to the final minute of round number 1. Those elbows, Ben, gosh, they're nasty.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting round.
Yes.
Actually. Like, no one's put a real stamp on it for me. The pressures obviously come from Drillich and the counter striking from Lawrence, and then we have those elbows. It's a great takedown, and again, he's got a minute left to work in the round, and this is an important exchange now. If Lawrence can get back up and nullify that takedown, we've still got a really tight round in our hands. But if Ant controls for the rest of the minute, and he's looking to grapevine the legs now, He needs some height. If he could get over the top of Lawrence, but if he does that, he's going to have to give up the legs at this stage. So he's happy just pinning the pressure through the hips, keeping him where he is, and not allowing Lawrence to actually do anything. Like in that sort of stalemate position. He's got good control of the legs. With 30 seconds to go, if it's still in this position with 10 to go, expect him to stand up and just start raining down some pressure. He's got the body lock here.
Well, he's opening up now, Ben, but is he doing enough in the eyes of the judges to, I guess, maintain an active status in this position? I think he does so now. He's taken the back.
Yeah, look, he's on the back, but Lawrence is on his feet, so...
do they cancel each other out?
Yeah, you know, he's the one dictating where the fight is happening at the moment. So
indeed,
you'd have to lean towards Drilic, and that's very smart there. And those heavy hands coming...
For the best KO submissions and fight finishes, every week is Fight Week on UFC Fight Pass. Back to the action here at Eternal 66, round 2. It's Louis versus Drilic. Louis down the middle with a right hand, Ben.
Solid technical boxing there, just straight shot, straight down the center. Anthony's worn him. But you can see that they've changed pace this round, right?
Absolutely.
So Lawrence has got on the front foot, whereas Ant was, although Ant did hang back a little bit in the second round, the first round, he was predominantly putting the pressure and backing Lawrence up. But Lawrence with a different intensity to him this round. Probably not liking how the last round finished and realizing that he needs to change the tide a little bit in the flow of this fight.
Yes, he's looking a lot more crisp in round number 2 is Lawrence Louis.
Great footwork there from Ant, just disengaging from the situation, getting out of that striking range. I mean, for him as the shorter man, he either wants to be all the way out or all the way in, really. He doesn't want to stand on Lawrence's range. Very fast with that lead hand there. Chopping away at the leg, just building some momentum. Lawrence very patient, just dominating the octagon, but not really doing much with that octagon domination. And copped a shot there for his troubles, and Ant's floating around on the outside and looking to explode into these big shots.
You can see both these guys calculating every decision they make here in round 2.
Yeah, look, as you'd expect from good level fighters. Good fight IQ, good technique to go with it, fit, you know, tick all the boxes.
It's on full display here in our main card. Crowd starting to get behind Anthony Drilic.
Yeah, it's a real chess match, this one. These boys are sort of making each other making it hard to figure each other out. They're changing their game up a lot. Then Ant for the first 2 minutes here has adopted a striking strategy, whereas in the first round he was looking to close the distance and grapple. So it's giving Lawrence something to think about. And trust me, those left hands hurt because they're heavy.
Left hand landing flush for Drilic.
And some feints coming back from Drilic now, playing him at his own game. And for me, Ant's just doing that a little bit more. There's not much in it, but Ant's just leading the dance. Even though Lawrence now is pressuring, Ant's just landing that little bit more. But I mean, again, there's nothing in this fight. It's a superb matchup.
Both guys, offensive and defensively, doing everything right, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. And a couple of hard shots been landed, but other than that, it's mostly been a feeling out process to this point. That's timing on that blast double, and that's the second time he's hit that. Lawrence going for the same escape, and I wonder if Ant's had to think about what he does to prevent him from doing that.
He's got to get to the cage. He's got to, well, he doesn't need the cage. I stand corrected, Ben.
We've seen so many times Israel Adesanya do the same thing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And here come the elbows again.
Yeah, you can definitely see shades of the style bender in the stance of Louis.
Yeah, look, again, fantastic takedown. Great blast double. Popped his position up, scooted back to the fence, used the fence to help him get back up. Fantastic grappling there. But another successful takedown for Drilic, and that blast double he's had success with in both rounds now.
Oh,
and although he's not doing much with it here, he is controlling the fight against the cage in the eyes of the judges.
Well, it's what they reward more, isn't it, Ben? Do they reward the offense of Drilic? Do they reward the defense of Louis? In your own opinion, what would you reward more?
Well, you have to reward offense because they're creating the action and the other person's reacting, dependent upon the result of that.
Speaking of offense, he's in a good position here, is Anthony.
Yeah, he is, and he's just doing well to take his time to get a position. It's always position first. He needs to get that position, and he's got to watch those elbows are going to start raining down again. Here they come. I'd like to see him where, I can't quite see where he's got he's Lawrence is looking for the head position, just to bring him up so he can't shoot on that double, and Ant's going to have to then revert to body lock. Here we go, back in open play again.
Just under a minute left.
Little slip there from Lawrence as he stepped back. Good check from Ant as he stepped backwards. 30 seconds left in the round.
It's been a better round for Louis, but he goes down there. Looked like a trip.
It looked like he
Slip
slipped,
rather.
to be fair, yeah. And he's going to land some elbows again. But again, at the end of the round, it's just smart from Drilic here. He's just sort of making a statement at the end of the round. Now, obviously we're not. And then there's that takedown. But Lawrence will not accept these positions. And I'm sure he can do this time after time.
Yeah, well, he's back to his feet again. 10 seconds left in round number 2. Sorry to cut you off there, Ben.
No, all good. I think he is just letting this fight slip away from him. And we talked about it a lot on the undercard, but as you go against that sternum with the meat of the forehead and...
Well, round 3 underway.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see how Lawrence approaches this round. For me, he's chasing the fight.
Swooping left hand over the top, lands
Beautiful.
for Drilic, but
Beautiful.
Louis acknowledges.
That jab there and just threw 3 jabs in quick succession. Not necessarily looking to hit, but just preventing Lawrence from being able to hit him. That's a misconception. It's what you have to hit everyone with every punch. You can punch and have no desire to hit, but it's stopping that person from doing what they want to do and making them think about what you're doing.
Oh, most definitely, Ben. Louis continuing to feint, and would it be fair to say that he's not getting much of a reaction out of Drilic thus far?
No, Ant's just trusting to stay tight in his guard and wait for him to throw, yeah? You don't have to bite on these feints, and that's what Lawrence wants, but Ant's not indulging on that, and now he's doing some feinting of his own. It's a carbon copy of the other 2 rounds so far. Sort of Lawrence pressuring, Ant just landing a little bit more, but floating around the outside of the cage. So if the judges are scoring the control, you know, Lawrence is definitely like center cage, but for me, Ant's just doing a little bit more.
To give Louis credit, that's a beautiful elbow landed down the middle there.
Yeah, look, he's very technical.
He's still dangerous, Ben, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, absolutely,
He's still dangerous.
But Anthony will not want to be switching off here because Lawrence has got a lot of different weapons in his arsenal from what I've seen so far. But his head's a bit stiff. He stopped moving that head like he was in the first round, and Ant's quick, and he throws that left hand really well. And now he's introducing the kicks. We haven't seen much kicks from Ant so far. A couple of chops to the leg, but now working the body. And look, Lawrence backs Ant up without doing much, just with movement. And then when he gets back against the cage and someone has to go, Ant's the one that goes.
We'll wait and see, because Louis is doing a good job of cutting him off thus far as he starts to press the action here.
Stalking him here and landing a few shots, and now the volume's coming.
Indeed, this is better for Louis.
Yeah, this is a good round for Louis, and he's definitely so far landed the more shots in this round and had the cage control. A good fast oh!
Not sure what happened there. Looked like a slip.
It looked like a slip, but then
sure.
yeah, it was very unorthodox. He's unorthodox in his movement, Lawrence. Like, he's very fluid, but he looks stiff, if you know what I mean. But he's not stiff. It's just the way he looks. It's angular. But he's also look at that. I mean, look at that. Slip and rip, make him miss, make him pay. Beautiful shot there from Lawrence. And at this stage, that was a big knee. I don't know where Ant took that, but it looks like he's got his faculties, and he's headed forward to where he's had a lot of success. Right, pressure up against the cage, hunt for his takedown, stay busy. Very smart there, just moving that hand and pinning it with his own head, just to buy himself that little bit of time.
Well, just under 2 minutes left here in round 3, and Lawrence Louis, although he's doing a good job of staying on his feet thus far, you have to think that Anthony Drilic, the more aggressive of the 2 here in round 3, Ben.
Well, yeah, I actually disagree. I think Lawrence has been the more aggressive to this point, but now, Ant, as he's done in a lot of the rounds, towards the end, he gets that really precious takedown and control in the vital time in the judges' minds towards the end of the fight. So it's very smart use of energy. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful.
There. Great setup.
Great setup. Whoever taught him that, top of the class.
I can only imagine who.
But fantastic, right? You threaten to the head. And in the first round, he threw to the head, and then in this round, he threatens to the head, shoots low, gets on the hips, achieves what he wanted to achieve. The fight on the ground with 1 minute to go again. And Lawrence really needs to risk it for the biscuit if he wants to get this fight. He's got to get back to a dominant position and do damage. Like, he will defend the position, but he needs to reverse it now and get after it. And I'm sure he's been implored to do that by Cam Rowson and the boys in his corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thoroughly impressed, obviously, with the defensive technique of Lawrence Louis. He hasn't taken too much damage when he's been taken down. The question is has he made the most of his chances while he's on the feet, Ben?
Yeah, look, it's a funny old game. If you took a picture of the two boys at the end of the fight, you'd give it to Lawrence if you hadn't seen the fight.
I was just going to say. Yeah.
Ant's wearing a little bit more damage, but Ant has actually sort of done a little...
Well, here he comes.
Yeah, he's got to get after it now. And look for Ant to set his feet and just throw one more big shot.
Well, I totally agree with you now. Lawrence Louis finishing this fight, in aggressive fashion. And they go the distance here at Eternal 66. What a way to open the card here in Perth.
Yeah, look, great fight. It's one of them. What were the judges looking for? Again, I can't see a way that Lawrence did enough to win the whole fight. Do I sit here with rose-tinted spectacles on? I try not to, but apologies if it comes across that way. I thought Ant did enough to win the fight. Lawrence did what he had to do in that last round. You know, he like I said, he got up, reversed the position and got after it. Unfortunately, just left himself with that a little bit too little time to probably get the finish that he needed. But stranger things have happened.
We have seen strange things and crazy things in this sport, especially here in Perth. Ben Vickers, it's great to be back here.
How do you see it, T?
For such a long layoff.
Stop putting me on the spot. How do you see it?
I see it as a great fight, to be honest.
But I'm not allowing you to fence it, mate. Come on.
Jitsi Club replay.
Oh, he's out professional me there. He's moved us on to the Jitsi Club replay.
And what a replay it is, Ben Vickers. A fantastic fight to open our main card. My sincere apologies for putting you on the spot. It is a hard seat to sit in.
What, on the fence?
I'm happy to sit on the fence. Nonetheless, look, I give both of these fighters credit. I actually enjoyed watching Lawrence Louis fight, to be honest with you.
But do you think he won? Are we sitting here with a conflicting opinion?
Look, I agree with you on most occasions. There's no conflicting opinion here. Nonetheless, it was a great fight, and I'm looking forward to the decision.
No, absolutely.
Do you like that answer?
Not really, no. I still think you bottled it. But, no, it was a great fight. Very technical, you know, as you'd expect from these guys. Lawrence comes from a thoroughbred camp, and he showed that, you know. And for me, he just needed to output a little bit more. And was smart in this fight. You know, he didn't do anything crazy. He just took his moments when they came, and fortunately, they came often enough for him. But look, Lawrence was on the front foot for a lot of the time, and if a judge that's what they're about and that's what they're scoring, then this could go the other way.
Well, there's only one way to find out which way it goes, and to make it official here tonight in our opening bout of our main card, your voice of the cage, it's Blake Richardson.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge 1 scores this contest 30-28 to the red corner. Judge 2 scores this contest 28-29 to the blue corner. And Judge 3 scores this contest 30-27 for your winner via split decision in the red corner, Anthony Drillich.
Well, you couldn't get an answer out of me, Ben Vickers, but you have an answer here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Split decision. Victory for Anthony Drillich, doing himself and the team at Scrappy MMA very proud. And there's no one prouder than the man sitting next to me here tonight, his head coach, Ben Vickers. Look, I didn't doubt you for a second. Nonetheless, I like sitting on the fence. It's very comfortable. You look more comfortable now that it's official. Anthony Drillich, split decision. Congratulations.
Yeah, look, tough fight for Ant. You know, it was good for him after a long layoff to get those 15 minutes in the cage. Very important. In the pro game, it matters about the result. And, you know, I think he got the result he deserved. It was a split decision. Goes to show it was a close fight. I think the right result for me. You know, Lawrence is young in his career, and he looks great. You know, he does a lot of things really, really well, and now it's just a case of putting that all together and going back with the boys and the team that he's got. I think the next time we see Lawrence in the cage, he's going to be much improved, and he'll keep improving, because in a room like that with, you know, the likes of Izzy and Brad and Kai Clara France and Alex Volkanovski, with Eugene coaching you, you're going to get better and better and better every time.
Absolutely, no doubt we'll see Lawrence Louis back in action sooner than later. Credit to him and the team at City Kickboxing under the watchful eye of Eugene Behrman. Big things coming for them in the future, both on the Eternal stage and on the world stage in the UFC. Nonetheless, the moment belongs to our victor. Go the spoils. Anthony Drillich is with Blake.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner and back in the win column, Anthony Drillich. Anthony, congratulations on a successful return to the professional MMA career there. It's your first fight in over 4 years. Tell us a little bit about the process of preparing for a fight inside the Eternal cage after so long away.
Well, after my last fight, I had a bit of time off. Then I decided I wanted to come back and start winning this division. So I decided to go to Scrappy MMA. Obviously, head coach there, Ben Vickers, took me under his wing. So I can thank him for that. Yeah, it's been hard and long for this training camp, but it's obviously worth it now.
Absolutely, you looked fantastic in here. Now, we knew what to expect with a City Kickboxing opponent. They have slick striking, always tough. Was there anything that surprised you when you got in the cage with him in here tonight?
Yeah, his obviously wrestling was better than I thought it would be. I thought I'd be able to just dominate him. To be honest, I got him down when I could, and he was able to work himself back up. So that came to a big surprise. Yeah.
Well, the game plan worked out in the end, Anthony. And listen, after such a long period of inactivity, can we hope to see you back inside the Eternal cage, creating fireworks before the end of the year?
Yeah, definitely. I'm starting to lose the weight now, so I want to keep it off. Yeah.
Well, you look fantastic, Anthony Drillich. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, for your winner, Anthony Drillich.
Wow, what a way to start the main card here at the HBF Stadium in Perth. And Blake, give us your honest thoughts on the fight. They certainly entertained the crowd here early on in this show.
Absolutely entertaining it was. An excellent matchup between Anthony Drillich and Lawrence Louis. Back and forth grappling was the tale of the fight. True to City Kickboxing style, there were lots of feints and slick striking coming from Lawrence, but ultimately the chain wrestling and the counters from Anthony Drillich etched him out the decision there.
Well, it certainly was a fun fight to call. Anthony Drillich sneaking away with the decision victory there. No doubt we'll see both him and Lawrence Louis back in action very soon. Our next bout of the evening was the highly anticipated Eternal Flyweight matchup between Frank the Tank Jankowski and Harv Mahar. See the look in Harv's eyes. He wants this one.
Yeah, and look, Harv's an interesting character. You know, he marches to the beat of his own drum and he fights his own style. You know, there's very few people that fight exactly the same way Harv does, but he's landing early here. This is going to be a busy one, boys and girls.
Well, we've gone low here at Eternal 66. As I'm sure we'll get a bit of a break here, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on the Gold Coast for Eternal 67, Juice versus Rideout. Eternal Welterweight Championship is on the line, July 16th. If you're not going to be on the Gold Coast, if you're going to be here in Perth and you can't get there, or if you're watching from anywhere around the world, it'll be live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass. If you haven't done so, sign up now to watch that main event. Can't wait for that one, Eternal 67. But for the time being, we are here at Eternal 66 in Perth. They touch gloves and we're back to the action, Ben.
Yeah, and look, expect to never see Harv standing still. And look, Frank's going to have to find him. And if Frank can find him, he's got a good chance. But Harv's an exceptional wrestler. He loves wrestling. And although he looks like an accountant, he's a very accomplished martial artist. No offense to accountant.
Oh, none at all. I mean, if you're talking about Harv and his occupation, he's written government. I have no idea what that means.
Well, I can't disclose what his occupation is.
Let's not disclose it. Let's focus on the task at hand. Mohar doing a good job. Wow.
Shot from Frank just grazed the nose of Harv there. But this is a high-paced fight. The last fight was a bit more steady and controlled. These are flyweights. They're both very technical, and Frank does like that running kick, and there's some power behind that. So you can see both Harv's knees heavily taped. Which one's the bad one?
High-paced action so far. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
Has he got two bad knees? Has he got one bad knee? Which one is it? One's heavily strapped, one's not so heavily strapped. I like the mind game. Maybe he's got no bad knees. He just wants him to kick him, and then he can take him down.
Well, I mean, is that part of the game plan, Ben?
Not one I made up, but Harv, like I said, marches to the beat of his own drum. So.
He's his own person.
Yeah. And look at the movement. He's doing a really good job, Harv, of staying off the centre line and giving Frank no clean target to aim at. But Frank's just minding his composure and not moving as much. So Harv's style's obviously going to take a little bit more energy because he moves all the time. But he does land heavy there. And this movement's working. Frank's having a hard time pinning him down. His head's not on the centre line. He got lazy there with his footwork, but he's pinged him down the middle there.
Well, he's tagging him, isn't he, Ben? He's landing shots of his own, is Harv. But Jankowski...
Not phased by anything, to be fair.
No, not at all. I was just going to say he's taken it quite well.
And both boys, what I like about this fight is both boys are looking to make the person miss and make them pay. They're looking for counter punches. It's high-level stuff. Good movement from Harv there. Just caught Frank lunging in, and what Harv will do is if he keeps getting them reads, then the counters will start coming.
Absolutely.
But if he does have bad knees, he's fighting a very smart fight because he's not staying in one spot for Frank to kick him.
No, not at all. He's definitely not giving anything away.
Oh, that was beautiful up and down, but Frank was very good with his evasion, Frank. His reaction time, speed is superb. He's just getting out of the way of everything at the moment. He's got to do that for 15 minutes. That's going to be the challenge for Frank. It's all well and good avoiding those nice clean combinations in round one. Can he do it in 14 minutes into the fight?
Absolutely.
And has Harv got the cardio to do that, to fight the way he's fighting for 15 minutes? Oh, that was a good shot from Frank. He's landing well on the low kicks, but Harv's actually checking. That was a nice cross check there, very technical. He doesn't check kicks in the gym, so I'm pleased that he does it when it matters.
Good to see that. Good to see that he's, well, as you said, he's his own person, isn't he?
He's having a lot of success with that left hook when he comes in. It's fast. It's not necessarily powerful, but he should start to put the right hand behind it as the fight progresses.
He's got to watch that knee.
But that front kick up the middle is obviously part of Frank's game plan for this fight. But if Harv keeps moving his head and doesn't get caught clean, he's good, and he's still having success with that lead hand. Bit telegraphed there from Frank, but I like the idea of the question mark kick because Harv's been checking a lot, so he's trying to get that check so he's stuck on it on one foot and then take the shot to the head.
Most definitely.
Oh, again.
And you heard that one, Ben. Yes, there's no questions as to where that one landed.
And we are 15 metres away from the cage.
We are indeed.
That was a big groin shot.
I think he might take a bit more time with this one, Ben.
But and frankly, he should have a point removed because that's 2 in round 1, and it affects the cardio of the fighter.
Well, let's wait and see. Matt Wen, did he give a warning for the first one? I mean, do we give warnings?
We should.
We should. Crowd starting to get behind Frank the Tank here. No point deduction thus far, Ben Vickers, in round 1.
See, this for me is how that is unjust because you're still, I mean, Harv should have took more time, but he shouldn't have been put in a position
where he needs to make that decision,
yeah.
Right?
So 30 seconds to work in the round. Frank, heavy top side. Harv just needs to keep moving. Yeah, he's got the underhook now. There's a cut here somewhere or some blood. I don't know who that's coming from. Most likely Harv. But this is an interesting position. Harv's going to get up here. Beautiful scramble from Harv.
Wow.
And then he's going to look to land some shots.
We make it out of round 1.
Yeah, great round. Look,
Ben Vickers, your honest opinion, obviously no points taken in round 1 for the 2 low blows. Quite a good look for Frank Jankowski at the end of round 1.
Yeah, look, I still think Harv won the round. If I've had one criticism of Frank in the past, it would be his cardio. He seems to tire as the fights get down the stretch. So it'll be interesting to see now in what was a high-paced and high-action first round, how that cardio of Frank's progresses. For Harv, more of the same. Keep pushing forward. Hopefully the groin shots haven't taken too much out of the tank, which they can do. Anyone who's been kicked there understands what he's going through right now.
Of course.
But look, very evenly matched fight again. Very, very high paced. Anyone's game. This is an important round now.
It is anyone's game here at Eternal 66. UFC Fight Pass is the world's premier combat sports streaming service with over 200 live events, the largest fight library in existence, original shows and more. Sign up for an annual subscription at www.ufcfightpass.com/sign up. Round number 2, Jankowski versus Mohar here in Perth.
Then we've just picked up where we've left off, both boys. Frank is using that kick down the middle and those knees up the centre line very good. He's discouraging Harv from changing levels and trying to get in on takedowns. Like I said, Harv is a phenomenal wrestler. He's got outside position here with the head, good. He's managed to keep Frank off of him. But a good exchange, like Frank offering something different, which is what you should be doing. You want to try and change the game up so people can't get fixed into a game plan. So
absolutely.
Great work from the corner team there at Wolves then, giving Frank sort of a different game plan to work from.
He's staying unpredictable here in round 2 as he looks to mix things up.
Yeah, and obviously like the game plan's a the takedown's a heavy part of the game plan here. So he's done well. He's grounded Harv again and a lot more time to work.
Plenty of time to make a statement here in round 2 for Jankowski. But as you mentioned, Ben, Harv Mohar, high credentials when it comes to the ground game, specifically his wrestling.
Yeah, look, for me, he's a bit flat. I'd like to see him get onto a hip and start offering some kind of defense rather than just laying there and waiting for Frank to do something. Like, this is a point where you're in a bad position. You need to be prepared to expend a bit of energy to get yourself out of it. It's your fault you're here. You have to pay the price now and get back up.
Well, speaking about paying the price,
Frank's got a
full
man
mount for Frank, yes.
With the grapevines in. He's let the grapevines go, which is smart because you can't get a lot of leverage from that position. But Harv's back to, as soon as he's done that, Harv's nicked half guard again. So, look, great implementation of a game plan here. Frank's going to look to ride the round out like this, dominate position, control the round, and then work his way towards a finish.
He's got to be careful not to give his back here, Ben.
Harv's done well. He's going to walk up the wall. He's going to keep that right hip pressed against the wall to not allow Frank to have the hook. A whizzer here would be nice. That overhook there, good pressure from Frank. Great grappling there from Frank. And Harv's had no choice but to go for his back. And he's got to watch this head and arm here.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got the arm back. Good thinking from Harv, but great work from Frank. And he's back in the mount again. Harv's not going to accept the position. He's back in that half guard. I'd like to see him get to the cage now. Just nullify one side that Frank's got to work with. Help himself out a little bit.
He's absolutely
nice elbows from
on
Frank.
And that mouth guard's come out for Harv. That's courtesy of Frank the Tank. Tough times here in round 2 for Harv Mohar.
Yeah, great work from Frank. Look, he changed the game up. He didn't like Harv's movement. He's got him on the ground. He's dominating this round. He's doing damage. He's dangerous. He keeps improving his position. He's making Harv chase this fight. And when you chase, you make mistakes.
Indeed.
I don't think Harv's in any impending danger, but he needs to do something. He needs to improve his position. He can't he's had 4 minutes of ground control against him in this round.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Wynn obviously sees that Frank's doing enough work on top here. He hasn't stood them up just yet.
There's no need to stand him up.
No need? Yeah. Absolutely no need at all. Great transition from Jankowski.
Frank has never stopped working.
Not at all.
Yeah, he's earned this position and he's doing enough to keep it. Yeah, now Harv can get to the cage here. Frank's locked on a Kimura, it looks like, from what I can see. He's going to look to sit out and roll Harv all the way over, but Harv's got his leg. He's let go there and he's landing elbows, which is smart. Very good round from Frank. Smart decisions he's made here in this round.
He's got to watch those elbows. We saw them in our previous fight with Lawrence Louis. They're nasty, but he goes down. He rolls with him, does Mo Harv. And what a great escape from Harv, Ben.
Yeah, look. Harv was, did well to make amends for his own mistakes there. And with 20 seconds left in the round, he's on top now. He could do with doing a little bit of damage, just psychologically get himself back into the fight. There we go. Just like give himself a bit of a chin up.
Well, this will be a good way to go into round 3 for Harv. Turning the momentum in his favour at the end of round number 2, although Frank the Tank quite dominant in that round, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, nothing you can say but a dominant round for Frank there. And do we go into the third even? Possibly. You know, it could be all to play for. Does the cardio of Harv now, has it been affected by being kicked in the nuts twice? Who knows? We're going to find out.
Well, let's find out. You made a good point. It could be one apiece going into round number 3. And obviously this round coming up, very, very vital for both men. Ryan Gray giving the word to Harv Mohar. And obviously, no doubt, plenty of experience to draw from in between drinks for Harv.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, if you're Stephen Walton in the Wolves Den corner, you're going to say, Frank, please go out and do that again.
Yes.
And if you're Ryan Gray, you're saying, Harv, let's get this movement going. Let's not be there for his takedowns, and let's ping him on the angles and try and get this thing over and done with.
Pump up your odds, ladies and gentlemen, by combining your favourite NBA markets like to score 20+ points and to have 6+ rebounds. Only through Neds. Back to the action. We'll come back to it, Ben Vickers.
And this is what I speak about the Wolves Den MMA game. It's a complete MMA game, and he lands that shot to the head, catches Harv off guard, thinking about it, upstairs, straight in on the hips, and back to where he wanted to be. And Harv knows now he can't stay in this position and ride out the whole round. He's better off getting submitted for me than staying on the bottom and getting ground out for the whole fight, which is what Frank's going to try and do.
Well, it is a grind, Ben.
Sit out.
And look at this.
Look,
wow,
look at that
reversal.
scramble. Sprawl, hard, and now Harv's going to look for the... Now Frank's tired. He's put a lot of effort into that thing. See what Harv can do with it. Harv's obviously tired also. Going to see who can keep their composure down the stretch, and there's that shot. Now the problem, that could be the bad knee there. There's a bit of a wince as he sort of had the hook, the inside tie. Harv needs to move now. Like if he lets Frank settle in this position, he's going to give the fight away.
Indeed.
He needs to move now.
It's now or never for Harv Mohar.
And it's easy for me to sit up here and say it. Frank's got a great run. He doesn't need to move from here and he wins the fight. And no ref in the world is going to stand you up from mount. So
not at all.
It's all the emphasis on Harv now. If he wants to win this fight, he needs to get off the ground. He needs to take risks, and he needs to get off the ground.
Well, it's a tough ask for Harv Mohar. Jankowski opening up on top.
He's got the half guard here and an underhook, but Frank's chopped the knee through. Just killing that escape, but Harv could come up on a single here. It depends where. Frank's got wrist control on the far side. Harv shuffles back to the cage. There's the stand-up. He's got to fight the hands now. He's got to watch the knees. As soon as for me, that's an illegal knee also. Great transition to the back, and here we are again. And now it's demoralising for Harv now. He made all that work to get up, and here he is again.
Only to get back taken down.
That's the game. He's got to do it again.
Indeed. Fatigue certainly playing a factor in the later stages of round 3. Nonetheless, you can see it on the face of Harv, Ben. He's really working here.
He's trying, and that's all you can ask, right? He's up against it. Frank's dominating, and Harv's got to his knees. He's got half his base built, but Frank's good. He's over the top of him. He's heavy. He's not going to let him stand up here. Harv's going to have to earn it, and that's what I'm really impressed about Frank. He's making him earn every centimetre of ground that he gets, and here we are again.
More of the same for Frank the Tank as we count down the final minutes of round number 3.
Look, there's 2 minutes to go. For Harv, this fight is not over, but he has to get up. And you know, Frank is obviously onto that. And he knows if he keeps the fight here, he's going to win.
Well, he's making him work, isn't he, Ben?
Yeah, he really is. He's weighing heavy on him. He's chopping little shots in. He's changing positions. He's listening to his corner. He's listening to the advice. It's a fantastic performance from Frank, especially after a tricky first round. You know, he's decided, you know, where's he wins this fight, and he's took it there, and Harv's got no answers. And look, when I see a fighter with a locked half guard when he's losing a fight, it upsets me. You've got to let that go, make some space. You are not going to get up by holding him against you like this. This is no good to me.
Well, you heard it first, ladies and gentlemen.
He's cut now, Half. Some of those little elbows have got through, and now some big ones.
And they are
and this is the
landing.
thing, you know. It seems to me that Half's decided that this is where he's going to stay, and he wants to get to the end of the fight.
Well, he's got 45 seconds left, Ben. What does he need to do to make a statement here?
He needs to go. And if I could swear on this broadcast, I would. But you have to give it to Frank. Half has got up and done the right things many times, and he's obviously just ran out of gas.
Fantastic performance by Frank, and it's almost been total dominance in round number 3 as we count down the final 20 seconds. Frank the Tank, he keeps looking at the clock, but he could be looking at his second victory as a professional mixed martial artist. He's reining him down now. Final 10 seconds of round number 3.
We love a bit of claret. We haven't seen too much blood tonight.
No, it's been pretty clean, Ben. There's the hooter. Frank the Tank, dominant here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, first round, you think it's going to be a different fight, and then fantastic cornering and coaching work from the team at Wolves. Then they figured out where they thought their best chance of victory in this fight was, and they've gone ahead and implemented that game plan. Credit to Frank. Half could not get up. Every time Half got up, he took him back down. It was a fantastic show of MMA, fantastic show of grappling, very mature performance from Frank. He knew exactly where he needed to be to win that fight. He's implemented his game plan, and look, he's worn Half out. I know how fit Half is. He's one of the fittest guys in the gym, but he's just worn him out with that grappling, and Half had no answer to it in the end. You know, you've got to get up every time, right? And then Frank, every time he got up, Frank took him back down and just kept putting the ball in Half's court.
Well, you ride the highs and lows as a coach and commentator, Ben Vickers, and you do it as a consummate professional. Your man, Harv Moha, on the back of some tough work, courtesy of Frank Jankowski. And although it's not official, the crowd seems to acknowledge.
Yeah, well, look, I don't
think here tonight.
I don't think there's any doubt about who won that fight.
I don't think so either.
Frank can take his moment and enjoy it with his face. He always brings a fantastic crowd, Frank. Always turns up, always makes weight, always comes to put on a performance like that, and you can't help but love what he's doing here in the Eternal Cage. He's an outstanding fighter and an outstanding prospect.
Well, I shan't sit on the fence for this one. Ben Vickers, I think we're both in agreement as to...
Here he is, look.
You got me off the fence. I think we're both in agreement as to who the spoils may go to.
Yeah, look, I think Frank Jankowski got you off the fence, mate, with that. What can only be described as a dominant performance in the last 2 rounds.
Well, you made me answer a few questions like a politician earlier on. Brutal honesty is what you'll get from me in this one. And as we await an official decision, you can see the damage done, courtesy of Frank the Tank. Harv Moha, he wanted this one, Ben.
Yeah, he did. He did. And he trained hard, and credit to Frank. You know, he's come in and he's beat the best version of Harv there's ever been, and you cannot take that away from him. It's a fantastic performance.
Well, take nothing away from both men. To make it official, here's Blake Richardson.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27 for your winner via unanimous decision in the blue corner, Frank the Tank Jankowski.
Frank the Tank, still undefeated. And it's made official here at Eternal 66. He moves to 2-0 as a pro mixed martial artist, and Ben Vickers, no surprises there. Credit to Harv Moha, no doubt we'll see him back but the moment belongs to the team at Wolves Den. Congratulations to Steve Walton, Frank Jankowski, too good tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, a deserved victor tonight, Frank, and Harv will be disappointed now, but he's got to pick himself up, dust himself off and get back on the horse. But tonight belongs to Frank Jankowski, and he'll get his moment with Blake.
He will get his moment with Blake, but before then we take a look at a few of the highlights courtesy of Jitsi Club, Australia's premier jiu-jitsu apparel brand. Head to www.jitsi.club for all your custom club gear and apparel. And the man of the moment, Frank Jankowski, to give us his thoughts. He's with Blake.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner and still undefeated as a pro, Frank the Tank Jankowski. Frank, congratulations on a hard-fought victory tonight. You'd faced Harv before in the amateurs, you got the decision there. Was there anything that surprised you when you came inside the cage tonight with Harv?
Not really, he's a real tough guy. The first fight was probably one of my hardest fights. I know he's a game opponent and brought it out of me. So.
Well, you brought it out tonight as well, Frank. Now, your twin brother, you train alongside him, Ryan Jankowski. He fought on our prelim card tonight, Eternal 66. The decision not going his way. Tell me, how does that affect you mentally, and what does it mean to you to take this win back to him backstage?
Yeah, it means a lot to the gym. Yeah, it's good. We push each other hard. It's motivational. Yeah.
Well, listen, Frank, you've established yourself in this division. You're still undefeated. You've just dispatched with a tough opponent in Harv Mohar. Is there anyone else you want to thank for getting you to where you are tonight?
My Coach Steve, everyone at Wolves Den, everyone pushed me day in, day out, all animals. All my family and friends, shout out, everyone who came down to support. Love all you guys. Woo!
Well, you can hear them there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for one more time. Your winner, Frank the Tank Jankowski.
What a way to continue the action here at Eternal 66. It was going well for Harv Mohar in round number one. Nonetheless, Frank the Tank, too big, too strong.
That's a great review, I believe. Harv Mohar, he marched to the beat of his own drum. He's got an incredibly unorthodox style, and it was proving effective in the first round. He was managing to create angles that were throwing off Frank. He couldn't find his rhythm, but ultimately, as you said, in round 2 and 3, he found his rhythm, and the grappling proved to be just too much.
Well, many may not know this, but this was actually a rematch between Harv and Frank. They fought as amateurs. They rematched here tonight as professionals. 2-0 for Frank the Tank over Harv Mohar.
That's right. There was a highly anticipated rematch. Harv wanted the rematch to avenge his loss in the amateurs, but again, unfortunately, Frank the Tank just proving too much tonight, too dominant, and edging out the 30-27 decision.
Absolutely, he did indeed. Frank the Tank, 2-0 over Harv Mohar and 2-0 in his professional mixed martial arts career. Our next bout here at Eternal 66 was an Eternal bantamweight bout between City Kickboxing's own Nick Thornton and Scrappy MMA's Toby Meach. Versus Toby Meach, round one, and here we go. Straight into it, Ben. Once again, this matchup proudly brought to you by proper number 12 Irish Whiskey. And Toby Meach pressing forward already.
I love how Toby started this fight. This is exactly how I wanted him to start the fight. Just get in Nick's face, grapple. Toby's strong. Absolutely. I want him to get his hands on his opponent and let him feel that strength early. So he listens, which is good.
It most certainly helps, especially when you're in the corner, as you can see there, Ryan Gray. No doubt he'll be giving his 2 cents to Toby at this stage. He's fought the best in the business, has Toby, like we said. His last bout was against Sam Hibbert for that Eternal Bantamweight Championship. James Sargison, very tough opponent, back at Eternal 55, and even the man they call Lockjaw these days, Justin Van Heerden, went toe-to-toe with the Springbok at Eternal 54 back in October of 2020, but he's here now in Perth, Western Australia, and he's starting to make a statement.
Yeah, great start from Toby. Toby, like I said in the walkout, it came to my attention in the James Sargent fight. James Sargent, a phenomenal grappler.
Absolutely, yes.
Toby had to weather a storm in that fight. He had his back taken, and he actually dislocated his shoulder during that exchange, and he couldn't defend. He could only defend with one arm, and then he managed to pop himself out and pop his shoulder back in. Big shot there from Tobes. And then actually came around to turn it around, split James open big, and then managed to stop the fight in the second round. So I knew the kid had heart and he was tough, and then seeing him in the training room every day, he's determined and he wants this. He wants this real bad. He moved from one side of the country to the other to pursue his training further, and I'm grateful he did that.
Oh, absolutely, and for good reason, Ben. I mean, we speak so much about City kickboxing and the experience and talent they have within those walls. Nonetheless, you yourself at Scrappy MMA, plenty of mixed martial artists making their statement on the world stage as well. And this is where Toby's best.
This is his favourite position. When he gets on your neck, it's a dangerous time, but Nick's done really well there, showing his credentials as a BJJ brown belt, not panicking. Great fight. Both boys are getting after it. When they throw, they're throwing hard. Again, as you'd expect, Toby's just catching Nick. But here comes those kicks, and
well, Nick Thornton doing a good job so far.
he's got a different kind of style, and it's going to take Toby a while to work that out. He's definitely the bigger man as well. Got a big reach. He's very straight lines though. If Tobes takes his time, gets his head off the centre line, he could have some success. And this is a... Ooh, I can't tell if they're slipping on the canvas or these shots are catching, but I'm going to go with a slip. It didn't look like anything too substantial.
No, he's not giving anything away.
That was a bit more
That one landed
substantial,
clean, yeah.
Thornton just ate it, and high guard, disciplined feet, and he's off. Those big looping ball, that dangerous knee there. He's unorthodox.
He's almost deceptive in his striking, Nick Thornton. As you mentioned, a BJJ brown belt in his own right, but seems to have found a new love for striking, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's not dissimilar to Lawrence in his style. I'm sure they do a lot of training together, so obviously he rubs off on each other. Toby's doing really well in those dirty boxing exchanges, just with those tight hooks. He's landing to the body, into the head. Look there, he missed that time, and Nick shoots this time. Great knee on the break there from Toby. Good head movement, but fantastic from Nick. He's bringing this fight, and now he's going to look to get top position here. Toby's got the underhook. He's looking for the switch. He's gone back to a more front-on position here. Nick's going to look to drop levels and get behind those knees and take him down. Fantastic result for Nick there.
Great takedown by Thornton.
Good takedown.
Now,
nice elbows, active from the guard, heavy on top. Looking to chop the elbows in. You don't need a lot of distance to do damage with elbows, and Nick's very aware of that, and he's using them wisely here. A nice reversal. Nick's still in a dominant position, but Toby's done well to get off the ground. He's got a good whizzer and a great exchange there.
Well, they separate, and it's centre cage for Thornton once again.
Good to see Nick change it up. It looked like he just wanted to strike, and then he changed the game and caught Toby by surprise and hit an awesome takedown and had some ground control time.
Yeah, absolutely.
15 seconds left in the round as well. Again, a very pertinent time to get that control, and a close round, very even round, and I look forward to the next two.
Well, we've gone back and forth for the better part of 5 minutes in round number one. Thornton presses the action, looking to close things out in strong fashion. He does so, but as you said, Ben Vickers, a fantastic round for both men, indeed.
Yeah, and look, the finish from Nick is what you need to do at the end of a round. Just to give the judge at a close round like that could be enough just to take the round. Look, like I say, it's very hard for me to see these rounds objectively. I thought Toby was winning the round until the last couple of exchanges. So, yeah, I give Thornton the round probably.
Well, let's wait and see. Obviously, 2 scheduled rounds to come as of yet. An exciting round one thus far here at Eternal 66 on UFC Fight Pass. See the best that UFC Fight Pass has to offer on the Fight Pass 24/7 stream, offering a constant channel of historic fight action all day, all night. Tune in, sit back and enjoy a network created by fans for fans. Step into our world. Visit www.ufcfightpass.com.
Here we go, round two. What has this got in store for us?
Let's wait and see, Ben.
Nick's got really good footwork and awareness of where he's in the cage. I mean, he's getting backed up against the cage now. We'll look for some lateral movement. And look, he gets himself out. Great footwork from Nick. Bit of clash of heads there. They're coming together, the heads.
They're not hesitating at all. Here in the early stages of round
There's
2.
that
Nice.
left hook again, and
Absolutely.
Nick immediately pulls his hand up. He's like, oh, I don't want to get hit with too many of them. Fantastic from Nick. And then fires back with a few of his own.
Indeed.
He's got almost like a Thai style guard. It's a bit out in front of him.
Nice and high.
Nice and high. I'd like to see Toby go into the body. I do like a body shot. It's amazing the amount of punishment a human can take to the head, but one well-placed liver shot and it's all over. So I'm a big advocate of that. And maybe that's something Toby can start looking for with that left hook.
Well, let's see if he...
Good level change overhand right, lovely.
Beautiful work there from Thornton. Let's see if Meach can utilise your advice, Ben.
You can see the feinting game makes people hesitate. It's really clever the way these guys use it. And Lawrence and Nick, and we saw Kane on the undercard, very good at using it. And it's just sowing that little bit of seed of doubt.
Yes.
And there's another beautifully tight, but Toby's on the neck again. He just missed the grip.
Well,
there's the reversal, and that's deep on the neck. And if Toby can maintain top position, he loves these front head positions.
Back and forth they go, Ben.
This is one of Toby's favourite spots to be. He might look to leave it now. Nick's got control of both legs. That's very smart from Toby there. And Nick is defending superbly. He's obviously an extremely talented jiu-jitsu guy. All his defence has been spot on.
You can see the experience really shining through for Thornton.
And again, for Toby, he doesn't want to stay here for too long and just absorb this position and let the round whittle itself away.
Yes.
You know? He's next to the cage. If he can start walking the cage with his hips, creating some scrambles, look for some space, look to get back up. And for Nick, he wants to square Toby up to cage like he's just done, butt his head up, make it uncomfortable, and start landing some shots. Looking for those elbows that he had success with in the first round. Looks like Toby might be looking to set up a triangle here, just with that inside tie on the bicep. But he's also preventing Nick from doing any damage. Here's that triangle that we've been talking about.
You called it.
Nick's obviously spotted it and he's come over, blocked the leg, and he's looking to progress to half guard. But a good job from Toby retaining some sort of guard here. Good shots from Nick there. He's on the neck now.
Well, this is a better round for Thornton.
Toby needs to... his leg is... I didn't see his leg was caught. But he's going to look to build his base again. He doesn't want Nick to get behind him here. So it's important he stays disciplined against the cage. Use the cage.
Ooh,
he's under
He's got to be careful here, Ben.
I think Toby's shoulder might have gone again. I can't see from this angle where that choke is.
Oh, man. Oh, this is close. This is not where you want to be if you're Toby Meach. Thornton.
Well, he's done well to tough it. But this is where we saw Toby with James Sargison.
Yes.
He's not going to tap.
No. It was a dogfight with Sargison. This one is almost just as grueling, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, this is obviously the way Toby likes to do it. Nick doing a phenomenal job here of control from the back, and he'll be wondering how he's not got either of them chokes that he's had on so far in that little exchange there. But he's going to look to flatten Toby out. He's got his hand under the chin again.
He's a tough man.
Beautiful. He threw the shot and then switched the other hand straight underneath the chin. But Toby's onto it at the moment, but I mean, this is like one of those matter of time things.
Yes.
When you stay on the back for long and you're switching and switching and switching, it's only one mistake you're waiting for. So it's really vital here that Toby manages to get Nick off his back somehow, turn. I'd even take mount from here just for a break on the neck, try and get half guard, try and improve to a better position.
And this is taxing for Meach, isn't it? Look at Thornton. Look at these transitions, Ben.
Yeah, look, Toby's been here before. That's the positive end. There's only 14 seconds left in the round. But a very dominant round again for Nick.
Well,
and a lot of work to do for Toby in round number 3.
Oh, absolutely. He should make it out of round 2. But I won't speak too soon. He does so. Round 3 incoming for Thornton and Meach.
Fantastic round for Nick there. He did everything right. Got the fight to the floor. And again, it's a bit like the Jankowski fight. He's figured out that he wants top control in this fight. And that's where he sees it, his best path to victory. So that's what he's looking for. And Toby's doing a great job on defense, but he's on the back foot. He's responding to things. he needs to start being the one asking the questions, not answering them.
Absolutely, and as we take a look, Jitsi Club replay shows all the action from round number 2. Nick Thornton, a far better round from him, and this was the start of it, taking Meach down, stuffing him up against the cage, and he managed to get some good work in from there, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was a phenomenal period of play there on the back, like deep choke sunk in, and credit to Meach for hanging in there, but it was all Thornton that round, and he's going to be fired up as he is, as we see there going into this last round. And again, Toby's got to risk it in this round for me.
It's that old story of risk versus reward. He's got no choice, does Toby Meach, says his head coach, Ben Vickers. No doubt Ryan Gray would have given him the same message. But if Nick Thornton has anything to say about that, he'll be looking to make a statement here in round 3, looking for City Kickboxing's first win here at Eternal 66. And you can almost see the confidence has risen for Thornton. He's almost looking as smooth as he did in round 3 as he did in round number 1, Ben.
Yeah, his movement's fantastic. I'm really impressed by the movement of Nick Thornton. And his level change, it's so smart to use such a simple thing in MMA, but it are so many questions, the level change. Am I going to shoot on you? Am I going to hit you in the body? Am I going to come up and throw an overhand? Am I tricking you? And it's all that by just bending the knees slightly. That's it. And for me, again, like Toby's pressuring him and showing that he needs to throw some shots. But the feints get you not wanting to do that. It's such a smart strategy and such a smart skill.
Most definitely.
Good jab there from Toby. And look, you can see how high Nick's hands go. I'd love to see him like threaten with the jab and just go to the body and just hit one under. There's space under those elbows for a body shot. And I'm sure Ryan and Josh Deller are calling for that. It's one thing calling for it and another thing finding the and the fact that Nick moves his feet all the time. It's hard to get a bead on someone like that.
Well, he got caught coming in there, did Nick Thornton. He acknowledges with a smile, which usually means that one landed.
Yeah, and look, Toby's still got 3.5 minutes to work, so there is time, but not much. So he needs to start up in the tempo. If there's any gas left in the tank, this is the time to expend it.
Most definitely.
And let's throw some heat. And as for Nick, he should get back on his bike and just move around, pick him off from the outside like he's had success with, and then start hunting that takedown and that top position dominance. Good jab from Toby there. Nice movement from both boys there.
Yeah,
all the shots in that exchange missed.
Yeah, both of them just gliding out of the way of each other there.
And here we go. This is where Nick's had a lot of success up against the cage. But the reason being for the most of his takedowns is Toby's hunting chokes.
Yes.
And if you miss the choke, you often end up in a compromised position. So I wonder what his strategy is going to be here, Meach, whether he's going to decide to look for the neck or he's just going to look to disengage and maybe do his own work on the takedowns. Phenomenal output from Nick. This is hard work, grinding against the cage like this. And, you know, as you'd expect from a City Kickboxing student, great conditioning.
Oh, absolutely.
As well as the skill set that goes with it.
Most definitely.
But, you know, Toby's showing conditioning of his own. This, again, is another grueling fight. They're exchanging knees to the midsection there. Nick looks like he's having the time of his life.
He's enjoying himself in there. You talk about conditioning. No doubt Nick Thornton would credit those Sunday spider sessions at City Kickboxing.
Yeah, absolutely. Legendary things that they are.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Toby having some success on the feet this round. It's a much better round for Toby, this. Ooh, good hard shots there.
It's better from Toby. He's more active in round 3.
I'd like to see him following up on that now and just let it all go, you know. He's dipping his head to the left there. I would like a kick on that. And again, he's deep on the neck. Is he going to risk it? Or is he just going to look to not get taken down this round?
Well, as you said, Ben, he's been unsuccessful so far in rounds 1 and 2.
The timing's fantastic from Nick, though.
Yes.
Minutes ago in the round, if he grounds him here and keeps him there like he's done for the rest of the for rounds 2, as he did in round 2,
yes,
you've got to imagine that he's going to get the decision. But Toby's doing a great job this time of keeping him up, and with 48 seconds to go, you know, in a round that you'd probably say Meach has done the more work in, is this enough to eke out that cage control time, and in the eyes of the judges just be seen to be doing enough to control the round? I mean,
Thank goodness we're not judging, because they've definitely made them work tonight. I'll tell you what.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's
well, here we go. We're going to have 30 seconds of fun here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, get ready, strap
imagine?
yourself in.
I want to see Toby throw caution to the wind here. If I was Nick, yeah, just a bit of movement and poking the jab out and throwing those kicks that he's been doing so successfully throughout the fight.
Final 10 seconds of round number 3.
Oh, he's flipped him there, and here we go. Toby can't stand off.
Both men deciding they will finish this fight on the feet. And we will go to the judges' scorecards for an official decision. They go the distance. Do Nick Thornton and Toby Lerone Meach. Very competitive bout there, Ben Vickers. Full credit to both men, putting on a show here for the fans in Perth.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to come down to rounds 1 and 3. I mean, I think it's perfectly clear who won the second round. But yeah, it's going to come down to rounds 1 and 3. And again, I would hate to be a judge in that position. There was a Rizzler paper between the two of them in those rounds. So you know, Toby did a good job after the second round of being dominated on the back. He never let Nick get on top of him in the third round. So credit to that. You know, he saw the danger and he didn't want to ride out the third round like Harb did earlier in the night, just sort of getting dominated on position. So he made sure that Thornton couldn't get him there. And from Nick's side, you know, he had that massive second round and a bit of control at the end of that round, in a round that was probably drifting away from him, and it could have been enough in the eyes of the judges just to nick it.
Well, there's only one way to find out, ladies and gentlemen. No one better than Ben Vickers, your fight analyst this evening, giving his valued opinion, as always, on tonight's matchup between Nick Thornton and Toby Meach. And Ben, there's been a bit of a habit here tonight at Eternal 66. We've had to wait just a little bit longer for a judge's decision.
Look, these fights are tight, man.
Yes, there's much deliberation as to which way it will swing.
Yeah, these fights are super tight. You know, that's what we want to see. Like, everyone loves knockouts and everyone loves finishes and all that, but well-matched, hard-fought fights, you know, that's the matchmaker's job, is to put those fights on.
I was just going to say, I mean, who takes credit for the matchmaking here at Eternal? None other than yourself and Cam O'Neill. And as we saw, high-level mixed martial arts on display in our Eternal bantamweight division. It looks like we're almost ready to go here at Eternal 66. Ben Vickers having a word with director Cam O'Neill.
I didn't say anything.
Blake Richardson, rather, Ben, my apologies. Blake Richardson having a word with Cam O'Neill. And speaking of Blake, here's Hollywood with our official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of back and forth action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge 1 scores this contest 29-28 to the red corner. Judge 2 scores this contest 28-29 to the blue corner. And Judge 3 scores this contest 29-28 for your winner via split decision in the red corner, Lerone Toby Meach.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another tight decision here at Eternal 66. A split decision made official by Blake Richardson. Toby Meach walks away with the victory over Nick Thornton. And no doubt he will be thoroughly impressed to get back on the horse here at Eternal 66. Congratulations, Toby, and to the team at Scrappy MMA. And as they take their post-fight photo celebrations, Ryan Gray, Josh Della, Jack Della, all the team out at Scrappy MMA. Head coach Ben Vickers, he left the commentary booth with a smile as he prepares to corner Jack Becker later on here in our main event, as we take a look at our fight action replay courtesy of Jitsi Club. It was all Toby Meach in round 1, all Nick Thornton in round 2. Back and forth we went in round number 3. Split decision. Victory went to Toby Meach, and the man they call Lerone is with Blake Richardson.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, and back in the win column, Lerone Toby Meach. Toby, congratulations on an extremely hard-fought victory over an incredibly tough opponent in Nick Thornton there. This is your first victory inside the Eternal Cage under the Scrappy MMA banner. You moved from Brisbane to Perth late last year to train specifically at Scrappy. Tell us what motivated that decision and how it's been affecting your fight career so far.
You know, I've met Ben a few times and really got on with him. Saw some of the boys out the back at one of the Eternal shows, and I just saw how they worked as a team, and it just really resonated with me, and decided to sort of take the plunge and make the move. My wife sort of helped me make the decision, so thank you very much to her. I wouldn't be standing here right now with my hands raised if it wasn't for her as well. So.
Oh, what a lovely shout. I'm sure she's very proud of you. Now, coming into this fight, your opponent had the grappling advantage on paper, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, but you're no stranger to grappling yourself, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. Now, in the second round, we had some tight submission attempts. There was a couple of rear nakeds under the neck. Just how tight were those submissions, and what was going through your mind?
Yeah, they were very tight. To be honest, when you share the mats with the great Rod Costa, you get put in those positions a lot. So it was kind of just a normal day in the office, stay calm, fight the hands, and look for the opportunity to get out. But yeah, very, very tough, very strong opponent. Hard fight, man, yeah.
A very hard fight, but an exciting one, and a nice shout out for Eternal Featherweight Rod Costa there. Now listen, Toby, you win or lose, you bring 100% to every single one of your fights. You're incredibly exciting to watch. You now move to 4-2 as a professional. We have 3 more cards before the end of the year, before the end of August for Eternal. Do you have a name as to who you want to face next inside the Eternal Cage?
No, man, I don't care. At the end of the day, it's up to Ben and Cam. I know money's been tight for everyone watching here today. You guys don't come here to watch boring fights, so I come here and I try and put on a good show for you guys and make it worth your time. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Toby Meach. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your winner, Lerone Toby Meach.
Well, Blake, yet another heavily contested fight. We went down to a split decision. Toby Meach edging Nick Thornton out of there, but it was a back and forth fight. They both had their moments throughout the fight. How did you see it watching it yourself?
Exactly the same. The first round was an incredible back and forth action. Toby was pressing forward, landing his shots. A takedown from Thornton, but didn't really do anything within the first round. The second, though, Thornton really turned everything around, found his rhythm, took Toby's back. We had some tight rear naked submission attempts, but Toby just too tough. And then the third round, ultimately, Toby turned it on just to edge out that decision.
Well, no doubt the team at Scrappy MMA thoroughly impressed with Toby Meach's performance here tonight. Full credit to him and the team. Well, we made it to our co-main event here at Eternal 66. It was the undefeated Jarrett Wilbraham against the hometown hero, the man they call the future, Cody Haddon.
Exciting, Steve.
Well, these are 2 killers, Brett, and I can tell you what, talking to Jarrett earlier on in the week, he is well and truly prepared for this. He was scheduled to fight Colby Thickness on the Gold Coast last month. Nonetheless, he finds himself way across the other side of the country.
And he didn't let him down either, because he was disappointed not to get that fight, as he gets a good takedown over Cody Haddon early in round 1.
Well, this is Jarrett's bread and butter. Beautiful entry and level change from Jarrett. And Cody's in a tough position here.
See the strategy early. He wanted to use that wrestling. He's got a striking and a wrestling background, probably from his AFL days as a kid, Australian rules football.
Oh, no doubt that helps, Brett, I'm sure.
Well, he went across the rugby as well, so he's very well versed.
Well, let's wait and see. He's got 1 hook in there, Brett.
Not a great position for Cody Haddon early, but great for Wilbraham.
Yeah, good defence by Cody there. He's got to turn into him, though. He doesn't. Big slam by Jarrett.
Very nice slam. Still trying to work that position is Wilbraham.
He's doing a good job is Haddon. Fought the hands initially and continues to do so. Can't eat too many of those, though.
Nice knee to the body there by Wilbraham. And again, Cody wants the distance because he senses that he's got the power advantage. But again, very unpredictable as Wilbraham.
Well, that was a good reversal by Cody, Brett. And
gets the separation he needed.
Well, you'd expect this from Jarrett. He wants to press the action. He wants to maintain that pressure. Obviously, with Cody's background, 23-7 as an amateur boxer, this is where Cody wants to keep the fighters on the feet. So Let's see who can cancel each other out here early in round one.
That was very nice body shot there from Haddon. Does it again and takes it back this time to Wilbraham.
And this is big.
He's trying to get the hooks in, but Wilbraham is very good on the ground, so he'd be very comfortable. Trying to get those elbows in.
Yeah, Cody's a brown belt in his own right, so there's no doubt he knows exactly what he's doing here. He's taking a more unorthodox approach, deciding to strike from this decision, Brett.
Yeah, that's interesting, but again, this probably works in Cody Haddon's favour here.
It's working thus far.
Takes the back, and Cody Haddon has got the back. He hasn't got the hooks in yet, just one.
This is beautiful from Cody. Jarrett's got to fight the hands here. Half Nelson for Haddon, and that's a great transmission, almost to mount, but he's fully got the back now.
Great work by Haddon. He's turned this way. Oh, look at that move by Wilbraham. That's very impressive.
Yeah, Jarrett did everything right there, turning in, staying calm. And now he's in Cody's full guard.
So look, this is a great tactical battle on the ground, which, again, both guys very handy on the ground, as showing early in the first round. Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Well, I mean, you can expect this from these two guys. These are quite possibly two of the best bantamweights in the country. And Jarrett even said that. He said he learnt a lot after the Colby fight fell through. He wants to fight the toughest guys. He's got it in Cody Haddon. Whoa.
He asked for it, and that was a little bit of a slip there. Oh, look at that strike there by Haddon. They're throwing punches at each other now. Exchanges. This fight, this first round has said everything. That's the knee we're looking for.
Flying knee from Jarrett. Whoa.
Oh, look at these guys go.
This is what they came for, Brett.
This is a dangerous game for Wilbraham because, as I said, I think the power was on Cody Haddon's side, but again, Wilbraham is still a very handy striker.
Oh, indeed, he does everything
look at that.
right.
He's gone down. Great punch there by Haddon. He's gone with the hammer fist.
Yeah, Jarrett's got to protect himself here.
Got to watch for this submission.
Yeah, it's not locked up yet. But Cody can't leave his arm there, that's the thing. He's out. No, that's fine.
Great work by both fighters. How good is this first round? It's living up to expectations, T.
Yeah, the crowd love it. So do we, Brett. And this is good for Jarrett. He just needs to kind of regather himself here.
That's the thing. He said something interesting in the lead-up. Again, he's the only bantamweight that's got a winning streak. So again, if he wants this title shot, so does Haddon. They need to win this fight.
Correct.
And they want it badly. They're showing it.
And you can see what Jarrett's trying to do. He's trying to keep Cody close. The closer Cody is, the less power he can generate. Cody, on the other hand, the total opposite. He wants to posture up, get as high as he can on Jarrett, keep that pressure, that head pressure hard and fast, and land some big strikes. Posture up and strike.
Less than 30 seconds in our opening round, and it's had it all. Both guys having their moments. Wilbraham, nice up kick there.
Yeah, he's got to watch those.
Nice punch there by Haddon as he goes to the ground again in mount. What a first round.
Jeez, was that 5 minutes? My goodness.
How quick has it gone? Again, it had everything.
Wow.
What a first round. Crowd here at HBF Stadium appreciating it. I know that the fans watching on UFC Fight Pass, this is why Eternal MMA, premier MMA organisation in this country, and it's a great platform. And they're showing it how bad they want it. Laristro. So you have some handy words for Cody Haddon in the corner. And again, what both guys again have been pressed about is said their cardio. They've got cardio for days, so that's what made this fight interesting as we look at the replay tee.
Yeah, and this was the beginning for Jarrett. He started off really well. Managed to control Cody on the ground and even up against the cage. But, well, big slam there from, oh, geez, that was a big slam.
Yeah, saw it hit the head,
Look at that.
Thought he might have been in trouble then, but again, Cody Haddon went well, and what was great about that first round is both guys had their moments.
Yeah. I have to think that Cody may have done enough towards the latter stages of that round, Brett.
You'd think so, but in those close rounds, you never know what the judges are thinking. We've seen it all night tonight even.
We have indeed.
Round 2.
Like I said, I'm a big fan, good friend of Jarrett Wilbraham. And after round 1, you've won me over.
I met him at the weigh-in yesterday. I met Jarrett at the weigh-in yesterday, and he said really nice guy and really hungry and the same attitude as Cody. That's why it made me more excited about this fight. That's a nice uppercut there by Haddon.
Well, that's that boxing background. Feinting high, going low with that uppercut, that rear uppercut, catching Jarrett as he ducks in. He knows Jarrett's going to shoot. Just as I say that, flying knee again there.
Nice knee there by Wilbraham.
Beautiful. He's so versatile, Jared. I love it.
This is the game that Wilbraham needs. He needs to get in close and frustrate Haddon. Because the more separation, you'd think that Haddon would have the advantage. But again, Wilbraham is very boyish on his striking, and so he should be. He showed it in that first round and in his fights, especially against Hunt.
Well, he's very versatile, and that's the thing. He likes mixing things up, Jarrett, but Cody, he's just smothering him at this stage. He's not really letting him get off anything too cleanly as he takes him down again. Beautiful trip.
Very nice there by Haddon. Nice elbow there by Wilbraham from the bottom.
Look, he can do damage here. He can do damage, and you'd have to think if Cody's going to keep this pressure, why not make the most of it? Land some sneaky elbows from the bottom yourself. And
sort of like these days, again, the fighters don't accept ground position. They want to fight out of it and do what they can to score. Looking for the elbows there again is Wilbraham.
Look, he's got options here. If he can bring his right leg up and underneath the armpit of Cody Haddon, he can isolate an arm, but Cody's having none of it.
Haddon's still got to be careful because Wilbraham is very dangerous from this position. It's a nice move there by Haddon. Still throwing that left hook as well from the ground. Trying to improve his position, take the wrist. Look out for that up kick and right on cue.
Yeah. This is good for Jared. He can get back to his feet there. Unless he wants to turn in. Side control for Cody now. This is tough.
Thought it was a nice scramble by Wilbraham, but again, Cody able to adjust and get that side control position. And again, Wilbraham will want to get this to the feet very soon and again, close that position.
Well, these guys haven't stopped, Brett. That's the thing. From the first second right up until now here in round 2, they have not stopped working.
It's what we expected from these two caliber of fighters, and as I said, the bantamweight division, again, whoever wins this fight, they're putting that division on notice.
Yeah, well, you can see that knee ride has paid off dividends, has it? No, he's back into half guard.
Nice defence there by Wilbraham.
And he had one chance at timing that knee ride from Cody, did Jared, and he did the right thing, but he's not out of the woods at all.
With Cody Haddon's going to be, look at that punch, overhand, right on the button.
Yeah, that one landed flush.
Lefts. Oh, there we go.
He can't leave his arm there. He can't leave his arm there. It's not too deep. He's out.
Wilbraham still dangerous, as we said. He can lock up that arm and almost did. But Haddon right on point at the moment, not losing concentration because, again, you lose the concentration for a second, especially against an opponent like Wilbraham.
Oh, he'll punish you.
Going to make you pay.
Yeah, he'll punish you.
Elbow. Another elbow by Haddon.
But it's Cody that's the punisher at the moment. But look, give credit to Jarrett's defence. He's taken some big shots. He's taken some damage.
But he's still in there.
Yeah, he's well and truly still in this fight. And
absolutely.
To attempt an armbar at that position under such pressure just goes to show his character thus far.
He's looking for options and he's looking for openings, and he's confident he's going to be able to get it. So in the final minute of round number 2. How fast is this fight going, T? It's so exciting. Look at that. That's a nice kick to get Haddon off. And now they're back to their feet.
Yeah.
Nice body shot there by Haddon. Left jab there by Wilbraham. Look at that strike there by Wilbraham. That was very nice.
Yeah. Beautiful lead right hook around the corner. And that's a great setup for his entry. One hook in on the feet.
He's got 30 seconds to work. And he's able to get Haddon to the ground. So there you go. Always dangerous is Wilbraham. Look at that move by Haddon. That's great shake off.
That is unreal.
He looked like in a spot of bother there in the last 30 seconds was Haddon, but again, improved his position and reversed it nicely and not letting Wilbraham off the hook.
Well, I thought so too. I thought it was going to be a bit of a momentum shift in round 2, but no, it's all Cody Haddon at this stage, Brett.
Great second round for Cody Haddon. Round 1 was still close. We head through a third round, and it could be 1-1, it could be 2-0. So we see Gemma, our beautiful eternal girl, round 2 ring card. Heading into the third and final round. Brett Benetti here, UFC Fight Pass. It's Tanera, T. Nathan, pleasure to have you back in Perth.
It's good to be with you, Brett. First time here in Perth, and you can see
I
Vince
can't
Perry.
believe.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. Just going back to here, Brett, Vince Perry very animated in his instruction to Jarrett Wilbraham. I'm sure Romel Luistro will be saying more of the same for Cody Haddon. Jarrett's got to start taking some risks here. I spoke about this with Ben in several other of our fights. Jarrett's in a position where he's coming into round number 3. It's risk versus reward. He's got to go here.
The message is quite simple, really. He's got to go for it in the third and final round because you can't rely on the judges with a close round 1 and a dominant round 2. So this third round, look out.
The thing is, he has success when he commits to his shots. The flying knees landed twice. Lead right hook has landed around the corner several times.
Both guys look extremely fresh as well.
Absolutely.
For the pace they've set as well, that is extremely impressive.
He can turn this fight, Jarrett, but it's just a matter of whether Cody's going to be as accommodating, Brett.
I don't think he will, but he wants more of the same, and he gets more of the same early in the third and final round.
So you're absolutely right. Down he goes again.
Elbows. Oh,
And that's it. Wow.
Matt Wynn says that is enough, and Cody Haddon proves he is the future. Up on the cage, and his supporters right in front of him. Won a victory early in round number 3. Stops with elbows, T.
That was amazing.
Wilbraham's still down. We hope he's all right, but a very happy Lamel Luistro. Magic Mike, they call him. But look at that.
Wow.
A very brave Jarrett Wilbraham in the fight right up to early stages of round number 3. Looking forward to seeing this replay, T.
Yeah, I actually didn't see too clearly what happened. I saw Jarrett go down, and then it was just the barrage of elbows that Cody landed.
Here it is. No, that's early in the first round. So watching replay from the first round, which was a great takedown where Cody hadn't hit his head on that takedown by Wilbraham. Nice elbows from bottom from Wilbraham, but this is where Cody started to turn the tide in our opening round. And that was a nice transition from Wilbraham. That was extremely impressive early in round 1.
Well, he had his moments, Jarrett. He really did, and the flying knee there, but Cody almost seemed to have an answer for everything that Jarrett threw at him, whether it was on the feet, in the boxing, in the kickboxing, or whether it was on the ground. I don't think Jarrett's been tested like this, and to be honest, I don't necessarily think if he was expecting Cody to come out this strong, because my goodness, I tell you, Cody is the future. That's an accurate statement.
Well, here we're about to see the, this is still the second round, so we can't wait for the third round because we've got to find out whether it was the elbow on the way down on that takedown or was the follow-up elbows. Because that's what we think it was. We think it was the follow-up elbows after that great takedown by Cody Haddon. Here we go.
Yeah, this is it here.
Oh, he's landed on his head.
It might have been that takedown that did the initial damage because, he's out.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He's finished it. But I think the damage was done on the takedown and the elbows just didn't help.
No, well, definitely. Well, Mike Wynn jumped in fairly quickly there, and I was questioning as to whether those elbows were landing flush. Like you said, it was that initial takedown and that initial almost, that slam, Brett, that did the damage.
Yeah, Matt Wynn is a great referee. Got in there quick because it could have been a lot worse than what it was. We'll wait Blake Richardson to make it official.
Hey, man, the future is now.
I can't wait to see what's next for both fighters. I think Jarrett Wilbraham was very impressive tonight, and he'll learn a lot from this fight. He knows what the next step is because, again, these are two of the best, among two of the best bantamweights in the country, no doubt about it. At least we're glad he's all right because safety is paramount, and just waiting for... I'm going to send it down to Blake Richardson to make this one official. What a fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge has called a stop to this fight at 30 seconds of round number 3, declaring your winner via knockout in the red corner, Cody Haddon.
So we see Cody Haddon taking a photo with Holly and Gemma, our beautiful Eternal MMA girls, and I know the guys at the UFC gym will be very happy. Chloe, his partner, works there, and she was very nervous. I saw her just before I came up with UT, and she was excited and nervous at the same time. So we look at, again, another piece of the replay of this magnificent fight. And again, both fighters, especially in round one, had their moments. I believe round two was extremely dominant for Cody Haddon. And that was, again, a couple of those shots that could have landed, the elbows from Wilbraham and also the up kicks, could have spelled danger for Haddon. So it's still a learning experience for him. He's still getting better. That's the scary thing about Cody Haddon. He said that you haven't seen the best of him, he's only getting better.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, Jarrett did have his moments in that fight, but for the most part, Brett, it was all Cody Haddon. Like I said, I'm on board now. I'm on the bandwagon. The future is now. That final slam that took Jarrett here. You see it here. Simple
That's
double
the end
leg,
of the
and you
fight.
can see what he did there. He drove his shoulder right into the face of Jarrett Wilbraham. As we watch it again, down he goes, bang. No, that was the beginning of the end. He was out then and there, and Mike Wynn, great stoppage.
Yep. Let's send it down to Blake Richardson.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, and back in the win column, Cody Haddon. Cody, listen to this crowd. Cody, it's obvious you're no shortage of fans here at Perth. Every time you step into the cage, it's always fireworks. Your last fight on Eternal 60 with Astro Boy Steven Erceg won Fight of the Year, and you just narrowly lost the decision there. Tell me, what lessons were learned from that you brought into the cage tonight that led to this victory?
To be honest, before I start, I just want to say thank you to everyone who comes out and supports me, all my friends and family. Without you guys here supporting me, this wouldn't be possible. So the fans make the fight. Back to the question. So after that fight, I realized I had to do a little bit of work on myself. I've been wanting to do some healing internally for a long time. And now I guess I'm just at the right place at the right time. And I'm taking off now. And soon enough I'm going to be in the UFC. This fight's just, much respect to my opponent, but this is my destiny, and I was born for this.
Well, Cody, whatever you worked on, it clearly translated in the cage here tonight. Now, coming into this fight, Jarrett Wilbraham was undefeated, and you two are always in the conversation as the most exciting and brightest prospects in Aussie MMA at the moment. You've answered the question as who was going to be better on tonight. Who do you think you deserve a shot at next?
Bantamweights, I'm calling you all out. So, Jarrett's a tough right? He's the only one who would fight me. Everyone else, you're going to have to step up because... I need fights to get to the UFC, and I'm sorry, but I got to do what I got to do, and I was born for this, like I said before.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's made his call. Let's hear it one more time for your winner, Cody Haddon.
Well, Blake Richardson, it's as clear as day. The future is now. Cody Haddon getting the job done. Round number 3. Jarrett Wilbraham, he had his moments. He managed to land a few shots in rounds 1 and 2, but round number 3, Cody Haddon just proved too much, and it was ultimately the slam that was the beginning of the end for Jarrett Wilbraham.
Absolutely, the hype is real, the future is now. Cody Haddon, an impressive victory over an undefeated and very hyped opponent in Jarrett Wilbraham. Like you said, in round 1, back and forth action, Jarrett taking Cody down, utilising that, Cody dropping him at the end of the first round. The second round, again, back and forth action, both men landing their shots, but the third round, Cody made some adjustments, came out, took him down and finished the fight.
Finished the fight in violent fashion. Cody Haddon back on the horse here at Eternal 66. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we finally arrived at our main event here at Eternal 66. Eternal Lightweight Championship belt was on the line between Aiden Aguilera and Jack Becker. This highly anticipated rematch had quite the unfortunate ending.
So I've been fighting for about 10 years now, and I've had a lot of awesome moments, like stuff that sticks with you. And to win the legitimate title against a legitimate champion like Jack, I've never been hungrier, I've never worked harder, I can't wait.
It's an exciting fight, like any fight in my career is something that means a lot to me. This one in particular, I feel like I've shown that I've risen to the top and maintaining the top position, and I want that to open doors, and that idea excites me.
Jack's a fantastic fighter and he's deserving of where he's found himself. You know, he's at the top of the heap in the country and he's earned it. You know, he's willing to fight everyone. He's got a good skill set and I respect that, but I'm not intimidated by it. He's going to come forward, he's going to pressure, he's going to look to take me down, grind me out. But if he wants to stand toe to toe, let's try it this time.
I've fought Aiden before and no, I didn't hesitate. I'm excited. Didn't like the fact that someone that I fought wanted to fight me again. That's the only sort of thought on that.
For the people in the know, Jack and I have a bit of history and the way it came about last time, it was on short notice, on his part too, so no excuses there, but I was getting ready for probably the easiest fight in the lightweight division and instead got the hardest fight in the lightweight division. And it was a competitive fight, it was good, but I wasn't getting ready for Jack specifically. Since that fight, about a year to the day, I've only been getting ready for Jack. You know, I'm looking for redemption, so I'm feeling really, really good about how this is going to go.
The way I see this fight, not particularly any challenges as such, but I do understand he's got his strengths and he's a dangerous fighter like anyone. So as far as unique challenges, I think I've faced people that have his skills.
Look, I know it's a hard fight. I've done it before, you know, we've done 15 minutes together and I think we're probably going to do close to another 25. Having said that, all it takes is one mistake from Jack, one mistake from anyone, and I can take that away from him. You know, whether it be on the ground, on the feet, I'm going to be looking for the finish the whole way through, and I really feel like I'm going to find it and take that belt.
I'm interested to see what game he brings in terms of the grappling, because I think he's felt my grappling and I got the better of that grappling in that particular fight, so I'm interested to see how he approaches this. We didn't get a whole heap of striking time in that fight, and I wanted to, so I suppose this is one that again, 25 minutes of fighting leaves plenty of time for excitement.
So my fighting style, I've built a reputation on knocking people out quickly. You know, I'm an explosive striker. I've got a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I've been wrestling for half my life. You know, I really, truly feel like I'm the most dangerous lightweight in the country in the sense that I can finish someone everywhere. Doesn't matter if I'm on my back, you know, on the feet. I can take someone down, get on top of them. I'm a danger everywhere, and I'm always looking to kill.
My prediction for this fight is I think I can get a finish within 2 rounds. I'm coming prepped for 25, but I think I can get it done in 2. I'm excited, I'm pumped. Let's wake up HBF Stadium.
We've done 15 minutes already. I think there's a chance we do another 25. If you don't come prepared, I'm taking everything from you.
So we're going to get into some proper 12T.
Oh, absolutely. Proper number 12, Irish whiskey.
Proper number 12 as the main event is underway. Nice jab there by Becker to start. What I liked about what Aguilera said, again, he took the fight on short notice the first time. This one, he had plenty of time to prep. So what he's saying is no excuses. Nice leg. Oh, no, he's broken his leg. Oh, tragedy. Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
This is terrible.
No. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Jack Becker has snapped his leg with a low calf kick.
Oh, no.
Leg on leg. This is devastating. We've seen it before in the UFC, but unfortunately, it's happened in Eternal MMA in our main event as well. So look, safety is paramount. Ben Vickers in there very quickly. Matt Wynn with a distraught and obviously in pain Jack Becker. Now the thing with these injuries, T, I've actually had one myself playing football. So again, it's very painful at the start, but you go numb. Dr. Dan will get in there very quickly. And Aguilera is obviously devastated as well because he didn't want the fight to end this way. But this is horrific. It's a tragic circumstances on a fight that we're looking forward to. But all our thoughts now with Jack Becker, T.
Oh, man, I am speechless. Honestly, man, I've got no words for this. Seriously, Brett, this is so it's just sad. It's so sad. The amount of work that both of these guys put into this, man, the main priority is I just want Jack to be okay. That's I really don't. Honestly, I don't care about anything else right now. I just want Jack to be okay. Get on that green whistle straight away, and
we've got the best care as well. Man. Best doctors in here. So again, safety is paramount. The medicos are in. There's Dr. Paddy Golden. So got 2 of the best in the cage right now. Dr. Dan, and got the paramedics in there very quickly. And as I said to you, I've never basically done it fighting because I've never fought. But again, I have had this sort of injury before playing Australian rules football. So from my own experience, again, your leg goes very numb. and they get the green stick on, and you go, away with the fairies, and that's what the best thing for Jack Becker is right now. So,
my goodness. Well, Brett Bonetti, I'm sorry you had to go through that, and man, do I feel for Jack Becker.
He's up there,
the champ, man.
He's in amazing spirits right now for someone who had just had that horrific injury, because, again, he's taken a lot better than I did when I did mine, but he's probably just coming to. He knows that he's got a lot of fans in the house as well, so he's probably doing it for them to make sure that he's not worrying them too much. But again, what I'm grateful for is that the two doctors are in there like a flash. His support in Ben Vickers as well.
Yep, definitely.
And the care shown by Aiden Aguilera as well, because again, he didn't want the fight going this way. It was a fight they were looking forward to, and it happened so early. And the story couldn't have gone any more wrong for Jack Becker, because again, defending his belt in front of his home crowd for the first time. We're devastated up here, T, and we're devastated for him. But you said it best, T, to be honest with you. Our thoughts right now for Jack Becker, just recover quickly as possible, because this is going to be a long-term injury. But Jack Becker is hungry, and he want to get back, training as soon as possible with rehab. I'm talking about.
Oh, look, I'll be honest with you. Fighting would be the last thing on his mind right now. He'd be thinking about just his own natural
recovery,
well-being, and health. I tell you what, I really do feel for the champ, and even the man on screen, Aiden Aguilera. You can see. I don't know. You can see the disappointment on his face. This is not the way. This is not the way it was meant to happen, Brett. Not here in Perth.
No way.
Come on.
And our main event as well. But Aiden Aguilera didn't realise what had happened, because he went back in and realised, oh no, he realised what happened, because he's in fight mode. And as soon as he realised what happened, he's gone, oh no. He was basically really disappointed himself. Our promoters, Cam O'Neill, Ben Vickers in the cage right now, talking to Aiden Aguilera, and as I said, Jack Becker in the best of care with Dr. Paddy Golden and Dr. Dan, and it's great that we have two of the best with the paramedics in the cage. We'll put him on the stretcher, and they'll get him to the hospital straight away. And luckily, the hospital is not too far away from HBF Stadium as well, so he'll have the best of care. And that's what we do here.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, man, got to feel for the champ. But he's taken this like a champ. Like, I'm looking at him right now. He's cracked a few smiles, but there's a lot of pain, obviously, behind that smile. I'm on the same page as you, Brett. Nothing but best wishes to Jack Becker.
The crowd have had a good night. It's a few of the fans waving to us up here. They're probably waving at you too. They appreciate you coming over to Perth for this. We've been calling it for a long time. You are a special guest. I feel like a special guest coming in for a great co-main event, and also the main event of the evening. That's again, it was such a great build-up. We've been talking about it for weeks on 91.3 Sport FM in Perth. Have a segment there. We'll be talking about this and what's next. We'll obviously, again, our best wishes and our thoughts go out to Jack Becker, his family, his fans, his friends are all here as well. So, but again, Eternal MMA, you've got the best, obviously, care for their fighters.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why you saw that straight away when they got in there so quickly to take care of it. But they're going to be very careful moving him. And they'll get him the best care straight away.
Well, look, I mean, both guys were prepared for this fight. I mean, Aiden Aguilera talking to his teammate Cameron the Brickwall Bracewell, a professional undefeated heavyweight in his own right. He said he was well and truly ready for this fight, but I can guarantee you no one was ready for what we saw. Nothing but best wishes and recovery to Jack. And, well, I mean, I guess we have a new champion?
Well, that's the other thing. We're waiting for an official decision. I'm not sure whether it's going to be a no contest or a decision. You'd expect it to be a decision for a new champion.
I would assume we have a new champion.
I would assume that as well. But you never know, because sometimes we expect something and something different happens inside the cage. Looking for Blake Richardson now, but he's not in the cage at the moment. But just shocking. But I've got a question for you, T.
Yes,
because
please.
With these sort of injuries, we've seen them before in the UFC. We've heard that when this sort of thing happens, Anderson Silva, for example, I think that a small break might have been there in training. So is it possible that that something happened in the training camp where the injury had already started and was completed in the main event tonight? I mean, that...
Look, it's possible. I mean, with with injuries like we saw with Anderson Silva and even Chris Weidman in the UFC,
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor as well, that is a theory, and obviously I am not the most qualified opinion to obviously give thoughts on that. But you saw, just kind of going back to the fight, you saw what the game plan was. He was targeting that lead leg of Aiden Aguilera, and I could even see Aiden when he was talking to Cam O'Neill, as he checked that kick, he kind of turned his knee out, which kind of makes it like you're kicking like just a strong, solid base. It's almost like kicking a steel pole. So I can't imagine whether there's a micro fracture, as they call it, or if there isn't. When you're kicking something that solid, and because these guys, they're putting such force on their bodies day in, day out, weeks in, weeks out, months in, months out on a regular basis in preparation to fight here tonight. I mean, who knows? Maybe Jack was compromised coming into this fight, maybe he wasn't. I can assure you that in his own words as we clap him out of the stadium, he was well and truly prepared for this fight. I can't give my own medical opinion, but I mean, what we do know is it's going to be a long process of recovery for Jack Becker, but no doubt the champ at heart, he'll be back, Brett.
He certainly will. It's going to take a while, but again, it's great to see the crowd here, the beautiful HBF Stadium in Perth, West Australia, hanging around to make sure, and that was a warm round of applause. Matt Wynn, the referee, talking to Aiden Aguilera as well. Looking forward to seeing what he had to say, because as you said, the way the fight was going, even though it was very early, I think it was 3 leg kicks landed. The third one was the one that broke.
Yeah.
But the 2 before that looked beautiful and looked like it bothered Aiden Aguilera even early in the first round. So we'll find out how bothered he was with those leg kicks. But again, it was part of the game plan, and the game plan unfortunately just ended in horrific circumstances. And I'm gutted for him, and I'm gutted for you, I'm gutted for the fans, and I'm gutted for everyone watching on UFC Fight Pass as well. So, because again, there was a lot of feedback about this fight that was very much looking forward to, and it's unfortunate how sometimes this sport can be brutal like that.
It is, and like you said, it was part of the game plan for Jack. I mean, when you're throwing low calf kicks, sometimes that's just a nasty part of the game, and it is really unfortunate to see. It's incredibly rare. It really is incredibly rare, but you know, we're unfortunate enough to see it here tonight. But I mean, this is not how Aiden wants to win this championship. Absolutely not. And you know, obviously, again, wishing Jack a speedy recovery. No doubt these guys will run this back.
But
sometime
way down the track.
Way down the track.
I mean, they're going to want to run it back for sure. But again, Aiden Aguilera moves on. And again, we've got our answer, because our promoter, Cam O'Neill's done a great job with this card, along with Ben Vickers and the Eternal MMA team. Big shout out to Robin O'Neill as well. Good to see here in Perth. It was originally on this card. And again, Cam O'Neill has the Eternal belt, so he'll be presenting that very shortly. As again, Jack Becker is getting taken past our commentary position right now, and again, great to see the crowd, and he's waving to the crowd as well. He's in extremely good spirits for what happened. He's a tough
man. I tell you what, he is a tough man, Jack Becker, sorry.
Yeah, well, let's send it down to Blake Richardson, because I believe we're ready to unfortunately make this one official, and then we'll have a look forward to the chat with Aiden Aguilera.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge has called a stop to this bout at 22 seconds of round number 1, declaring your winner via TKO and new Eternal Lightweight Champion, Aiden Aguilera.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your new Eternal Lightweight Champion, Aiden Aguilera. Aiden, obviously the fight not being what you wanted, not what anyone wanted. There was a freak injury in the first round, 22 seconds in. Tell us about what you were expecting when you were coming into this fight, what you were hoping in a rematch with Jack Becker.
Well, obviously I knew it was going to be a tough fight. You know, I truly believe he's probably the top guy in the division right now, and definitely wasn't hoping for that, put it that way. I was hoping I would catch him with something. I had full game plan on the ground in case he got me down there, fully expecting him to manage to do it at some point. He's good, he's really good, and my heart breaks for him, because he deserves to be in the spot he was in, you know, and he should still be in that spot. You know, I don't feel like I earned this, and it sucks for everyone, yeah.
Well, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I know I've chatted to Jack personally, and he's mentioned that he enjoys your sense of humour, your sportsmanship. So good sportsmanship there. We'll no doubt get Jack back as soon as we can when he's healthy. Now that you are the eternal lightweight champion, onto a lighter note, your camp coming into this, you train under 5-time Olympian Chris Brown. You've got CrossFit champion, strength and conditioning coach, and Ben Schwartz. Tell me what it's like having such high-level coaches and mentors bringing you into a fight like this with Jack.
Well, I hit the jackpot. I've been under Chris my whole career, like my whole martial arts journey. I just walked into the right gym and been under him since I was 13 years old. So feels, it's awesome to have him in my corner. Obviously, he's the one guy that's never given up on me. I've had a really tough run. I was in a bit of a skid against good opponents, like good international opponents and Jack. But I lost 2 fights in a row, which had never happened before, and then COVID hit. And I turned 30, sitting there with my gym closed. And then I got one more fight, and it was Jack. It wasn't supposed to be Jack, but it turned out to be Jack. And I lost that. And then we got shut again for another year. And then this fight got pushed for 6 months, and then this happened. So it's bittersweet. It's obviously, I want to be champion. I just don't feel like champion. But having those guys in my corner, hopefully this is, representative of the effort they put into me.
Well, I think it absolutely is, and like I said again, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. We know that you are going to jump in as soon as you can to defend the title and make it as legitimate in your mind as it is in the organisation. Do you have a particular name? Now we know that there is a little bit of a beef, a little bit of a behind the scenes back and forth with a particular lightweight in the Eternal division. I don't imagine you would want to give him the shot, but do you have a name in particular in your mind that you want to have the first shot at the title?
Which lightweight was that?
I believe it's David the Smiling Assassin Martinez.
Martinez. Oh, you meant David Russell. Oh, no, sorry. I forgot he took his wife's last name when he got married. Whatever Cam and Ben decide is next, they need to earn it. I got this spot because I was the only one that was willing to fight Jack. I don't know why Dave didn't put his hand up. I don't know why anyone else put their hand up. Maybe they're injured. I don't know. But, hey, if they think he's next, let's do it. We'll have some fun with the pre-fight banner. At least I will. His will be terrible. But, whoever wants it, earn it. Prove you deserve it, I just want to legitimise this thing. So whoever they come up with, I'll fight as soon as possible.
Well, a bittersweet victory, but a victory nonetheless. You are the new Eternal Lightweight Champion, Aiden Aguilera. And what will you be doing after this to celebrate?
I don't think I'm going to be celebrating, mate. This feels pretty dirty, to be honest. I'm pretty filthy. But, I'll just go back to training tomorrow and we'll see what happens.
Well, an unexpected and extremely unfortunate turn of events here at our main event at Eternal 66. Blake, you're a personal friend and training partner of the former champ, Jack Becker. This one had a bit more feeling.
Absolutely. This was a devastating finish to a highly anticipated rematch. Not only myself, but everyone involved was devastated at the finish there. The new champion, Aiden Aguilera, included as well. The champ looked fantastic in his opening of the round, but a devastating and unlucky injury.
Wishing Jack Becker, obviously, a speedy recovery. Nonetheless, we do have a new champion here at Eternal, Aiden Aguilera, walking away with that elusive Eternal Lightweight Championship belt. What's next for him?
I'm not sure what is next for Aiden. I believe he has the pick of the lightweight division. I mean, he's the new champ, like you said. I know Aiden wasn't happy to win the belt in this way, and he feels it's an illegitimate title, but speaking to him after the show, I know that he's itching to defend it as quickly as possible and legitimise the championship in his mind.
A true sportsman in his own right is the new champion, Aiden Aguilera, wishing Jack Becker speedy recovery and best wishes to him, his team and his family. Nonetheless, Eternal has a new Eternal Lightweight champion in the form of Aiden Aguilera. Well, that does bring us to a close here at Eternal 66 from the HBF Stadium in Perth, Western Australia. But we do look forward to, Blake, Eternal 67. We're going back to the Gold Coast. That is a massive and stacked card on the GC. Main event, Eternal Welterweight Championship is on the line between the man they call Crazy Horse Caleb Rideout and Kevin Ducey. Give us your thoughts and what are you looking forward to specifically in the main event?
Well, it's an exciting matchup, like you said. We've got the newly signed Crazy Horse Caleb Rideout, just coming off an impressive spinning elbow knockout that got him the title shot. And the returning and dominant Kevin Ducey in his last fight looked amazing against Saeed Fadahifa. So I'm extremely excited. The title is vacant, and let's get it underway. I can't wait to see it.
Can't wait to see you all on the Gold Coast for Eternal 67, July 16th. It all goes down on UFC Fight Pass. Thank you for joining us here at Eternal Playback. We'll see you next time. Good night.